Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh.
Welcome to You Gotta Laugh to Keep from Crying. Today I don't have my regular co-host with me, but I ain't mad. I got somebody look a little bit better than he do, and I hope when he see this here, he get jealous. And I'm here with our producer, and who today is my co-host, Sandra Koritz. How you doing, my sister? Let me get a hug here. Let me get a hug here. Let your husband be jealous. And today, we are glad to have one of our city councilmen and one of our favorite guests here today, Miss Sharon Hightower, Councilwoman, Miss Sharon Hightower.
Well,
and how you doing, Sharon? Let me get
I'm doing good. Yeah, give me a hug.
All right.
Yeah, make him double. Maybe he'll be doubling. Thank y'all for having me.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're glad to have you. Would you like to make a little opening statement before we get started?
I'm just here, tired, been working diligently throughout the city, learning new things and meeting great people. So
All right.
I'm just excited to be in the position I'm in. So
All right.
glad to be back.
So since you last time you was here, when you was brand new, now you've been worn out a little bit. How things going for you as far as that's concerned?
Worn out is a real good word. I'm going to tell you right now, because it is a continuing job all day long. But it's good. It's what I need to do. It's why I ran for office. It gives me an opportunity to connect with a lot of people and hear their concerns and be able to be the voice for them. So, hey, it's what I like to do, and I'm glad to be doing it.
Oh, okay then.
I'm wearing out some shoe leather. But
Yeah, that's all right.
But it's okay.
It just shows people that you're working, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
So
out there.
how about you expounding on this here museum issue a little bit, as well as the performing arts, if you want to. Just one at a time, though.
Well, let's see. Now, what do you want to know about the Civil Rights Museum?
Well, the Civil Rights Museum is a big controversy out there.
Yeah.
People are asking questions, which I consider to be the child syndrome, when you can always say why,
Right.
why, and from what I read in the papers, that they done asked the city attorney, is there a contract, and he said yes. They done went to an outside contract, outside attorney,
right.
and he done said yes, but yet they still debating the issues and asking questions. So
Well, I just don't know when it's going to ever stop, and you're right. It is like a child asking why. And at the end of the day, you have to know and trust and believe that the staff that you've hired to do the job has done the job. We did get an independent opinion from an outside attorney. He said it was a contract, which I've said all along, myself personally. Just from years of working in the legal field. Our own attorney, and he's very capable, very intelligent, has said yes, it's a contract. Our city manager, I think, has faith in what the city attorney has said. And so at this point, I'm wondering, when is it going to ever stop, like you say? I mean, it comes a point where we need to look at this as we made some mistakes in some of the things and correct those errors, but nothing to the point that we need to renege on the contract, take any money back. I'm certainly not in favor of that at all. I think we need to work hard to make this museum a success. And what we continue to do right now, in my opinion, is to continue to put out negative information, which is discouraging to people, and they begin to question themselves and say, well, you know, if the city keeps going on and on and on, must be something somewhere. And I just don't believe it is. I think we can partner, make it a success, help them have a sustainable plan, help them grow, and make this museum something the city of Greensboro it should be proud of. I mean, it's history. It happened here. You can't change that. And so, for me, personally, I'm tired. I'm ready to move on. I've had the answers to the questions and my concerns. The audits were clean. We asked those questions. They sustainability plan, they did that. They changed their board chair. And so with that being said, if they've met the conditions of what was asked of them, at what point do you continue to say, well, no, that's not good enough?
Right.
So I just need, for me, I'm just ready for the move on. I got issues in East Greensboro that we need to be focusing on. We need to be looking at ways to create jobs. And I believe also that people from the outside looking in see this continual controversy and don't want to bring business here, not want to, relocate to an area that is continually in turmoil with its own people. And that needs to stop.
We had former city councilman Earl Jones on the show a little while back, and he said that the museum is an attraction to people as far as when they're coming from the outside. What's your view on that?
Well, I think it is absolutely an attraction. Just recently, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who drives bus for the Greensboro bus company, and he brought up a group of students from Wayne County. And that's a good 2-hour ride. So people are coming from around. They're bringing students. If you ride by the depot on any given day, you may see 2 or 3 buses from other counties. And those buses are bringing students to that museum. And so it is an outside attraction. People are talking about it. And you want it to be conversation in the positive light. You don't want it to continually be something negative. But it can be a boom for this city. And where it is downtown is going to be an absolute great location to be across from the new hotel and the new parking deck that's going to be coming, allow people opportunity to have access to it. So I see it as a good thing myself.
Yeah, I think that the museum should be like the crown jewel of this city. We have plenty of nice things all around otherwise. But with the history of the city, that should be everybody's first and last thing that they're talking about is our museum, because it's a wonderful place.
Well, I agree with you 1,000%. I do. I Googled the other day, just out of curiosity, civil rights museums. And the International Civil Rights Museum came up as number 4 on the Google list. That's pretty high up.
Right.
Yes.
Which means people have been searching for it, looking at it, reading the information. And so you're right, it should be a jewel. The things that started civil rights movement happened here. We ought to be proud of that. We made some strides and some changes in the world and the way people view us. And so we ought to be, touting that as something that is most important in our history. And instead, we seem like we want to kind of shy away from it.
Have anybody tried to compare it to the Birmingham jail, which I understand was turned into a museum, as well as the hotel in Memphis, where Martin Luther King was killed? Have anybody tried to compare the 3 of them to see where the Civil Rights Museum stand up from the city point of view?
Well, I haven't looked at it from the city point of view. Again, when I Googled the museum, it was number 4. And that was after the one in Memphis and the one in Birmingham. So, and I looked at both of those websites, and they do have the information on there that's all history and good information. They do the one in Birmingham, I believe, has the self-guided tours, which is something I think the local Civil Rights Museum is now looking at doing as well. And that's going to make it an enhancement, too, for people to come in, be able to, look at things and stay in certain places longer than they would like, so they can look at the information, get the history. I mean, it's going to really make a boom for the city and for the museum. I think it's going to be great.
Well, now we done got that part. Let's throw in the Performing Arts Center. Do you think there any chance that the Civil Rights Museum can enhance the Performing Arts Center, or the Performing Arts Center enhance the museum?
Well, I think it's going to be a two-way street. People that come in for the weekend maybe, and they come for a performance, may have time to come down to the Civil Rights Museum. They would certainly look at having that, location open a little later in the evenings for that to occur. It'll be a way, I see, to help boost revenue and just and boost, vision for the museum. So I see that as a win-win. They're going to help the Performing Arts Center as well.
Right.
People can make it a downtown stop, a twofold, visit, and so they go to the museum, go to the Performing Arts Center, or go to the Performing Arts Center, come to the museum. So I think it's absolutely a positive.
So how was things going with the museum group? I forgot the community foundation group.
The Performing Arts Center.
Yes, for the Performing Arts
yeah.
Center. I said museum. I meant the Performing Arts.
Know where your mind's at. Well, the community foundation has been around for many, many years, and they've done a lot of good things in the community. They've helped a lot of organizations and groups throughout the city. I see them as a well-intentioned body of folk. They truly believe that the Performing Arts Center is going to be a boost for downtown, and so they've gone all out to get people to support it. And so I certainly applaud their efforts. I have a little concern about the funding on their part. If all the pledges don't come in, then the city may have to step up and fill in the gap. And that's where I don't want that to happen to, that the taxpayers would then have to, be the ones responsible for the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah.
So you mean nobody's checking that list?
Well, the list has been checked.
Right.
But the thing about it is they've got, they'll have about 10 years to get all the pledges in.
10 years.
Yeah. So you have to wonder, hopefully the economy is just going to get better and better and better so that those who pledge to invest will do just that. But the bank will loan the money to the community foundation based on the pledges that have been made thus far.
You say will, you mean they haven't done it as of yet?
No.
I mean, I think that's kind of ironic that some people will raise about $1.5 million when the city done went out here and spent $7.6 million on buildings, and nobody got that got the back of the city. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's a valid argument. The city right now is really on the hook for 11 million. We said that our part would be 30 million, and then the community foundation, the pledges are 35.7 million. And so, but right now we've spent 11 on the land, and we tore down the hotel, bought the surrounding buildings. And so, and we've got another 18 that we're going to invest for a total of 30 million. And then, but supposedly, I don't know, but they're supposed to have at least 5 million in cash right now, and they're expecting more. And they said what they're waiting on was for the city to purchase the hotel, purchase the land, and make the commitment. And now, excuse me, now that the commitment's been made, then the pledges should start flowing in.
you mean when the city went out and spent $7.6 million, that wasn't a commitment enough? I mean, I'm not the brightest person in the world, but I ain't that stupid either.
Well, I agree. I do agree.
I
I think you're absolutely right.
My opinion is I think the city got to take a tighter rein on that and push it more.
Yeah.
They have to push for those people to bring in that guarantee from the bank or the pledges from the people.
Yeah. Well, that's what our conversation has been, and one of the reasons we were kind of holding back a little bit with the memorandum of understanding is that we wanted to be sure that those pledges were going to be coming in, and then we wanted to make sure that we had title, to the property, which we do, and also make sure that we're going to be the actual owner of that property, of that museum, of the, you got me saying museum, of the Performing Arts Center. But, and so some of those questions have been answered, but like you, I still have more questions on that.
Well, I'm not worried about the question. I'm looking for some money.
Yeah. They say follow the money.
Right. Yes, I understand follow the money. I mean, and another thing I want to ask about is that back in March, I think it was March or February, I read something in the papers that said that the biggest donors, get the museum named after them. And I was
Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, the Performing Arts Center. Still got museum on the brain.
Yeah.
The Performing Arts Center normally get named after it. And I would wonder why this person who put up $7.5 million get it named after them when we citizens
Right.
Right.
put up $30 million. And my mathematics is simple. 7.5 goes into 30 million at least 4 times.
Yep.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're
And
absolutely right.
how come we citizens don't get no glory here?
Well, we made that argument
Right.
to have Greensboro in the name of the Performing Arts Center. And I don't think the conversation's over,
Okay.
myself personally, because there is concern that it does not have Greensboro's name in it, and the taxpayers' money has been spent. You're absolutely right. Their argument was more like, well, we got this private individual who has stepped up and said they would do this, the 7.5 million. Of course, now it's a 10-year pledge.
Right.
It'll be $750,000 a year for 10
For 10
years.
years.
My 30 million as a citizen of Greensboro, my 30 million is up front.
It's already right. Well, we've already spent 11, so
Right,
I
right.
think that it should be representative. I personally thought it was going to be the Greensboro Performing Arts Center, just like Durham's is,
Right.
DPAC, Durham Performing
Right.
Arts Center, and I think that would be better. And even if we could structure his name within the body
Right.
of it, I think would still give him homage, and because we are appreciative that he's willing to step up. But I agree with you 100%.
Right.
Well, I got a suggestion. You can always name it the Greensboro Performing Arts Center and tag it stage. Give him the stage name.
Give him the stage. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I felt like it should be the Greensboro Performing Arts Center, with Tanger somewhere listed.
Right.
In the name,
Right.
in the out name, but because actually you can have naming rights as well on the inside.
Right,
You can come
as
in
well.
as well in the foyer, whatever the case may be, your hall, certainly
Right.
the music hall, like you say.
So you want to
would
give
be
him the
named.
foyer. I'm willing to give him a big stage.
Okay, well, we'll give him the stage, and
Yes.
I'd like to give the veterans the foyer, the entranceway, and
Okay.
that was one of the things I suggested. I'm still going to try to push
Disabled
that.
veterans.
Well, all of them,
all
because
the
they're
veterans,
going to
yes.
tear down the War Memorial Special Event Center in order to have the auditorium
Auditorium.
over there.
Yeah.
They're going to tear it down in order to have the Performing Arts Center. And I don't think just a statue outside
Right,
is enough
enough.
to honor the people that they built that thing for
Right.
in the first place. I think we ought to be able to walk through at least the halls and remember, the people that put their life on the line and did lose their lives
Right.
for the country and for this city. So I think that's a better way to
Yeah,
honor
yeah.
them.
So do I.
There's some rumors running around on the rumor mill about the War Memorial Stadium, which I sometimes like to throw out the name, the North Carolina A&T's State War Memorial Stadium. Is there anything going on with that?
I haven't heard anything in quite a long time. I think it's probably eventually going to come up soon. I'd love to see it belong to A&T, and at one point there was conversation they were going to fix it up and give it to A&T. A&T does utilize it
Right.
for certain events, and I think it would be an enhancement to that whole corridor if they would do that rather than just let it sit empty
Yeah.
and continue to go down.
I understand that, and I would like to see A&T with it too, but in the meantime, while y'all are sitting there thinking on it, it's costing us money.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, the best thing to do is to hurry up and get it up to the front, up to the front.
Yes, sir.
Get it off our books, so we don't have to keep paying for it every year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll take that back.
Well, it's a good idea to move it up if we can.
Oh yes, I mean,
And I really used to enjoy going to that
well,
stadium.
I don't have no problem with it, but I mean the problem I have is that while they waiting,
Right.
like I said, it's costing the
Costing
city more money.
Right. Yeah.
It probably, if they keep waiting the way they're going, all the money they're gonna spend to maintain it and everything, they could have fixed it up, given it to A&T. It maybe saved me a couple $1 million here on the sign. When I say me, I'm talking about citizens
city.
of Greensboro.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, I know there was 1.6 million or something. Don't have the exact number that was put aside to fix it up, and I don't know what the delay is, but I certainly think we need to push it up, as you say,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
go
yeah.
on and have that conversation and handle business. And I will say that if we stop talking about the museum, we
Right.
probably can go ahead and put our attention on it.
That's the truth.
Well, councilperson, you on the stage, you sitting up there.
Yes,
You
sir.
can always bring it up,
I am.
and I'll be looking forward to you doing that.
Yes, sir. Well, you are my constituent, and
Yeah.
your wish is what is my command. I
Okay.
work for you.
Okay then.
You know.
And we'll be there to support you.
Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate
that's for
that.
sure.
Well, I just want to say, not only do you work for us, my opinion is that you work for all the people of the city,
Oh,
even though
yes.
you do represent
One
District
district.
1.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
you don't. You try to look out for all.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
and I'm proud of you because of that.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Sometimes I'm out of my lane, and I try to bring myself back in.
Hey,
Yeah.
well,
But I am concerned
how can
for
you be out of your
everybody.
lane?
Well, you know, I try to respect all my district representatives, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But if there's any way I can support them by helping their constituents, I'm there.
Yeah.
No, but see, that's what I just said. You represent all
All
the people. You're
people,
just not
right.
helping your constituents. And a lot of people seem to get a district thing stuck up in there, and the district only showing where you represent. And the people don't really understand that
Right.
when you're on that, you make decisions for everybody.
That's right.
The
yeah,
entire
we do.
city.
For the
See?
entire city.
And when you're making
You're
decisions
right.
for everybody, you thinking, even though you're thinking about your constituents that voted for you, but you're also thinking about them
yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so
And
it's
I do.
Yeah.
it's a round robin type thing. So
But that's the job.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
everything comes before the city council for the entire city.
City.
So you have to be up on what's going on in all of the areas of the city
And I do
deal
my
with
best.
that. Now I know.
I do my
Because
best.
you have all of these different people coming forward saying, we need this, I want that. And you have to know whether that's actually something that would be good for us or not.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and govern yourself accordingly, which you do.
That's
you
true.
know.
I try
Yeah.
my best, yeah. Just
Yeah.
most recently, the Friendly and Hobbs Coalition,
Mm-hmm.
people were getting to Trader Joe's. I'm telling you, I talked to them and got more emails and phone calls and messages they left for me. You know, they didn't want it, and then for those who did want it. So you're right. It is
Right.
it's working across the city
Of
as
course.
well.
But
So.
the Trader Joe thing is a very interesting thing. It's not the fact that everybody think that the people here in Greensboro don't want Trader Joe's. It's just those people over there where it's got a lot of economic development and a lot of traffic over there, and people don't want to seem to understand there's other places that Trader Joe's can go.
Right.
And because people gonna come to where Trader Joe's is.
Right.
But it seems like to me, they have this conceited attitude. If I can't have this area, then I don't want nothing at all.
Right. Right.
But, and which I think is very disrespectful to the people of this city.
Right.
I agree.
See, because I can think of a place right now off Cone and Church Street. They got an old Harris Teeter over there, which house Trader Joe.
Right.
With no problem. And people were swamped to the area.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a firm believer of that as well. As I told several people, excuse me, today, is that, you know, if you're willing to drive to Chapel Hill to go to Trader Joe's,
Right.
you ought to be willing to just come right across town.
Right.
It's not that far.
That's exactly
You know,
right.
I got a lot of people who say, well, I go to Winston and I shop over at Trader Joe's. Okay, well, just think about it. You don't have to go to Winston.
Right.
You can shop here within your own city. But what's wrong if you come to Random Road?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
why not come to Lee Street?
Right.
You know, or somewhere.
Or for instance, on the east side of
East
Greensboro.
side. Right, absolutely. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right. East side.
That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree. I made that argument. And a lot of people that I talked to who didn't want it agree with me. And I said,
Right.
well, would you stand and support if we push Trader Joe's to come and look? They said, certainly. So we have allies across the city.
Right.
And across the other side of town. And you're right, they're swamped
What is he saying?
with commercial development,
Right.
and they just don't want any more of it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's their, you know, it's their opinion. It's the way they feel. They pay taxes too, and I'd love to see a Trader Joe's over here.
Oh, I would
But
too.
what kills me, you read some of the letters to the editor, and they say, "Oh, the people got to be crazy not to want Trader Joe's," and they really not understanding the whole story there.
Right.
That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
a whole story
Right.
they understand.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that they don't want trade. They don't. It's just that frustration.
Right.
How would you like to try to pull out your driveway and it takes you 5 minutes?
Right, right.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
But
it
there are
would-
lots of locations
Oh,
in
yeah.
Greensboro that would be suitable for a Trader Joe's to go to.
And I always wondered, are they really exercising smart business sense? I mean, the name is like magnet to people. I
Yes,
mean,
it is.
people go crazy over it.
Yeah.
I mean, and myself personally, I don't see it.
Yeah.
But I might have to go to Winston to find out what they're going crazy about. Maybe something wrong with me.
Well, I hear they sell very good wine. I did get that, and they have some other little products. I don't do all that, but you know, obviously it's something that's an attraction. And so I Googled it and looked it up and looked at the store, looked at the products, and it wasn't anything really that made me, you know, do flips, but people do like it.
Yes.
And I think, you know, you're right. They could come over here, and if people really like it, they're going to go to it.
Yes,
That's true.
Yes,
They're going to
yes.
go to it.
Whatever the store is, you know. Whole Foods when it moved in, you know, they're doing a tremendous business over there. And there's another wonderful grocery store right 2 blocks away, you know. So if people want it, they're gonna
Yes, yes.
they're gonna make it work.
That's right.
You got any quick closing comments as time was to get off? It looked like time just flies.
Oh, wow. Time just goes on. No, I just, you know, I wish people well. We need to get us some jobs and some economic development in this city so people can start working and taking care of their families and investing in their neighborhoods and communities. Those are the things I want to see. I'm not for raising the bus rate on the GTA. I'll throw that in right quick. You know, I certainly support our bus system being more efficient, but I certainly say that right now, as people work hard, it shouldn't be done.
Right. Well, it was
Thank
great
you,
to have you on, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad.
Let me get another hood while I'm on camera.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you get one too.
Yeah. Thank you guys for inviting me so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
We're
Thanks for coming.
glad you're able to do it. Yes.
Be well to come back again.
All right.
We got nothing to lose but a chance and a world to win. We're at the neighborhood school. Too many kids never learn to read. People losing their homes. What does the government care? They're doing a dirty deed. Old man sleeping on the cold street. They took his dream. He's gone to seed. What do you say?